Matt and Shane's secret podcast was just Matt McCusker this week, and he had a guest named Joe Alto for what I feel was a really important conversation. I don't know a lot about this Joe guy, but he works for an app focused on helping men recover from porn addiction, and I think that's a really great thing. During the podcast, they talked about their own experiences getting into watching porn and the harm it has caused them long term, and I think it's really important people start to talk about these things on mainstream podcasts like MSSP, because porn is harmful for young men and women, and this needs to be discussed more specifically if men claim to care about helping other men. Take a look.
You fired up?
Fired up.
Joe Alto, how you doing, brher?
What's up, man?
Welcome, motherfucking cast, dude. Joe Alto. Dude, we met online. So we met, and I'll just say it. You messaged me, and we linked up based on not looking at porn.
Yeah. By the way,
I have mixed views on the whole, well, let's say like the approach, the online approach, or people take into real life of like, you're either a porn consumer or you're a non-porn consumer. Porn consumer is very simple. Non-porn consumer is kind of complex because it's like, there's like complete nofap over here, which I'm like, that's just impossible.
Sure.
You can try it if you want. I find it to be utterly impossible for myself. And then there's like no porn at all. Then there's no masturbation. There's like hard mode, nofap, soft mode, all that stuff. Yeah. I'm sure you're aware of all that stuff. So I always try to not take a super dogmatic approach, if that makes sense, where it's like, if you fucking do it, you're done, you're a piece of shit. Yep. But recognizing that, I'm like, I really want to get this out of my life.
Sure.
And I have, thank God, for now. But please. But I know I've done a couple, like hotel weekend trips by myself are the absolute ultimate test. So I've passed a couple of those, but yeah.
So I harp on Matt a lot for how he treats his wife, but I am really impressed that he was willing to have this discussion and talk about his own experiences with porn addiction so honestly, with a specific call to action to help those currently struggling. Because it's easy to tell people to stop, but without offering them guidance along that process, it's just empty rhetoric. Matt choosing to bring an actual expert, so to speak, in porn addiction recovery is a great way for other men to see that recovery is possible, and it tells them they're not alone and that there is help available. So mad respect to Matt for having enough empathy to want to help other men struggling, not just himself. Take a look.
All those, but yeah. So tell me about, so you have an app, right?
Yeah.
You work for an app?
Yeah, I work for an app. It's called Relay.
What is it called again?
Relay.
Gotcha.
Relay Health. Yeah, and it's a porn addiction recovery app, right? So, yeah, the guys started it probably, I think it's been 5 years now we've been up and running.
How many people have used it?
How many people have used it? I know right now there's about 4,000 in the app right now.
Nice.
More than that have used it, in the history of the app, but we have a pretty good user base, and it's mostly guys.
Yeah, and I'll say this too, because you do every time around the let's say masturbation porn discussion, whenever you're like anti or like, hey, maybe not the best move, you do get these guys, I'm sure you've dealt with them, who are like, oh yeah, dude, porn fucking rules. You guys are being babies. And I just want to state for the record, totally fair. You can do that if you want. But that is the male equivalent to like when girls are like, my vibrator. It's kind of fucking, it's kind of fucking lame. Be like, my vibrator. It's like, okay, like enough of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And
come on, we don't want to hear about it. I want to bring back, my dad used to always be like, if you mention porn, he'd be like, what are you, a fucking weirdo?
Same here.
What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, it was a genuine threat.
No, to this day, my dad is I've asked him bluntly, I go, Dad, have you ever, what was like your history with porn? He's like, never done it. I'm a man. I swear to God, my dad's been like, never jacked off.
Oh, that's so sick.
Never looked at porn. And it's fucking gross because he's like, I got your mom. And I'm like, ew.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay.
Ew.
That's the worst.
Yeah. No. But that's like the raw. Like that's the honest to God what he's told me.
Also, though, back then there was a barrier. If you wanted porn back then, I don't know how my dad's like in his 70s.
Yeah, my dad's 65.
So if you wanted porn, they had to like go to like adult bookstores and all, but also there was like a bunch of guys trying to blow you the whole time if you wanted to get porn. Like it was for real. If you wanted porn, like porn shops, was associated with like underground
just
sexual
gross hedonists.
No, exactly. That's kind of the deal. Like if you were even around there,
I think
it's like
offering an app to assist people in porn addiction recovery is a great idea. I worry about the potential to exploit users, but this Joe guy's intentions with this app seem to be genuine. Having an app can help people with creating boundaries, structure, discipline, and self-control around porn addiction. And it could be a very great way for men to take tangible steps to work through their issues. And I respected Joe tremendously for discussing the underlying issues that contribute to and cause porn addiction to begin with. Take a look.
No, but so you start looking at it when you're young, and then at some point in your maturation process as a young man, whatever type of disappointment that you go through, right? It could be in sports, it can be with the ladies, it can be with, get a bad grade, whatever. Really like simple shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you just go back. Yeah, you get an F on your paper and you feel like shit, and porn's gonna make you feel good. So you do it. And then you just unlock this crazy circuitry in your brain that it connects any type of, like, you're literally training yourself. You're like a dog. Mm-hmm. Like, you're training yourself to associate pain with porn, and it gets unconscious. And then you have all these like 35-year-old guys who have very stressful lives, right? Like we all do. And now it's so unconscious. You have a bad day at work. Maybe it's the muscle memory of driving home. You get into an argument with your wife. You notice a cavity, all the shit. You just go to porn.
Porn time.
Porn.
Yeah.
I think it's great that he talks about accountability for young men, and I respect how both Joe and Matt were careful not to chastise men for being addicted to porn, and instead just showing them that there is a way out if they want it. This whole episode was a really bold step for a podcast to take, and mad respect to Matt for being one of the first to talk publicly and openly about the harms of porn addiction. Especially when his podcast is very misogynistic and his best friend Shane often has opposite beliefs regarding women. Fortunately, Matt seems to have enough awareness to understand how evil the porn industry is. Take a look.
Which again, then you like look at the porn industry as like an apparatus, and it's like, it's really sad. Like, you can say, oh, I don't even want to think about that shit, but it is. It's like, you have these, let's just say mostly women, although the guys' stories, I watch a lot of Soft White Underbelly, so I watch a lot of these stories of people like in the, porn industry and all this stuff. And it's almost always a sad origin story where it's like a girl was sexually abused or this or that.
Bad family life,
always pretty bad. Yeah. And then the guy, their male counterparts is never exactly great either for the most part. So it's like you have these people, and it's, this might be a bad way to put it about. This is how like my mind kind of like, organizes it. It's like you have these people who are like, in some way have caught a very raw deal in society. Like imagine a beggar who's like, beggars usually are beggars because it's just all the shit got fucked up in their lives, and now they're beggars. And if you walked by them and just fucking jerked off on them, it's like, that's kind of how I started feeling. It's like, they're not obviously beggars, but it's like they've been dejected by very important parts of their life in a very intimate way. Yeah. And they get fed into this machinery that very clearly rips them apart. Yeah. Female porn stars do not age well.
No.
There's been like 4, and the only reason they did is because they became movie stars and they got to like get out of the porn life. But the people in there are being grinded to a pulp in like a way that's hard to comprehend. And then I always just felt doubly disgusting being like, and just jerking off. It was just like, get to a point where you're like, dude, it's not like a powdered wig where I'm kind of being like, evil. It's just like, I get it. I totally get it. I'd love to not have that on my conscience, or just like you were saying with like masking pain problems for being like, I'm going to go fucking jerk off now.
It's sad to say, but I was impressed that Matt had the wherewithal to understand the connection between the women participating in porn and the likely harm that led them into it. The fact that he could at least feel it is wrong to consume content by women he knows were likely exploited into it was better than most men. I wish it didn't take fatherhood for Matt to see women more as people, but Shane still doesn't see women as people most of the time, so I'll pick my battles. Matt's analogy wasn't ideal, but I get what he was trying to say and still appreciate the important connections he's hopefully making for some men who are consuming his content. For a while now, Matt has consistently spoken up about the harms of porn, and having someone on the podcast with experience and understanding was a really wise step to try and help other men. That takes courage and consideration for others, and I respect that Matt's trying to help other young men by giving them real tangible steps they can take to help remove themselves from these addictions. Both Matt and Joe were careful to never judge young men who are struggling with porn addiction and never chastise watching porn as evil. but they did implore young men to be accountable for why they are addicted to it and what underlying issues they may have that could be contributing to their addiction. Basically, they gave men viable ways to acknowledge the harm being done, while not judging them for failing to quit entirely. As far as their discussion on corn and the harms it's doing to young men, I tended to agree with everything Matt and Joe said about corn, and the harm it's doing is real. I really appreciated seeing such a mainstream podcast talk so openly and truthfully. Because it's not healthy to be addicted to corn, and it's contributing to why young men are more frustrated, angry, and disconnected than ever. I don't know what the right answer is regarding corn. I think there are steps we can be taking to encourage consumption of ethical corn where the women are respected and have more agency. And websites like OnlyFans have been a positive step as far as giving women more power and control over monetizing their own bodies, but I worry that the consumption of corn is a slippery slope for people towards less empathy for women regardless. All in all, I am glad someone as influential as Matt is willing to talk about the harms of corn addiction. It was a reminder not to count out Matt and Shane just yet, because every once in a while, Matt surprises me. Cheers to more surprises as Matt continues to struggle with his identity as a father to 2 black daughters, a husband to a black wife, all while being surrounded by Republicans like Shane. It gets more and more interesting to see them disagree each passing episode. Empathy in real time. What do you think? Is corn addiction a problem amongst young men? And do you think Matt is doing the right thing by talking about it and offering people help to quit? Let me know, and thank you so much for watching.